Alright, so today we're going to be covering the new triphasic training sprint specific sport plank. This plank is meant to address the various kinematic demands of sprinting. More information on this exercise can be found in our latest training manual, Triphasic Training, a manual for elite aerobic health. What we're going to be doing today is covering some of the basic coaching cues that are vital in order to ensure that the athlete is performing the exercise correctly. These plank variations are unlike any other ever created in that they're designed in order to transfer directly to sport, where other variations may simply fall short. The first phase of the sprint-specific sport plank begins here on the floor. What we're going to do is take a moment to watch a video of an athlete performing the exercise on the left, and then I'll discuss the video on the right. Now, if we freeze the video right here, screenshot it, crop and rotate the picture, we can see that the athlete is actually performing the plank position here on the left in a sprint position here on the right. If we were to look at the athlete in a vertical pattern, now the athlete is focused on applying pressure into the pad through focusing on creating tension in the big toe. While the big toe is in fact an extension, we want to coach the athlete to squeeze, drive the big toe down into the foam to increase neural drive. From here, the athlete is simultaneously pulling their drive leg up into flexion, creating a large amount of contralateral tension within the hip flexor complex, transferring into the torso. On the opposite side of the hips, the athlete is extending their leg to the ceiling. We want to try and limit external rotation of the hip and focus on keeping the athlete in a tight, streamline position with very little frontal plane activity via hip abduction or excessive external rotation. While there certainly is external rotation involved at the hips at the point of contact during sprinting, for the sake of this exercise and transference of strength, we want to try and limit any excessive rotation and place an added emphasis on proper hip extension patterns through the glute. The athlete is focusing on extending to the ceiling, pointing the toe down in plantar flexion, as well as maintaining all tension in the glutes, replicating a staggered stance or sprint position, as I referred to here on the right. As we follow up the chain, we can see that the athlete is supporting the position with the contralateral arm. If the athlete has to internally rotate in order to gain a little bit of stability, that is perfectly okay. However, we do want to coach the athlete to perform the exercise palms up and, if possible, with a relaxed jaw, relaxed neck, and moving fingers. The opposite arm should now extend beyond the torso with an open hand reaching in a posterior fashion just beyond the hip complex. Once again, we want to attempt to limit any excessive abduction of the shoulder, pull the arm towards the midline of the torso, and keep a tight and streamlined position. So real quick, just to review, and I can point out a few factors. We see the big toe here in extension. We want to coach the athlete to drive this big toe down into the pad. While they're doing that, they're pulling this knee up towards the contralateral shoulder. Now, on the opposing side, we will see the contralateral arm to the extended glute will be working in a posterior pull here, extending beyond the hips, and we want to, in a perfect world, have this athlete extend their foot up towards the ceiling, locking in their glute.